Hi guys, welcome back to this C programming tutorial, learning by coding. In this tutorial, we're going to see how to print integers from 15 down to 0, one per line. The output of the program should look something like this. Now we have already done a similar tutorial where we printed integers from 0 to 14. And now you can use that program to modify it. Instead of printing from 0 to 14, now you can print from 15 down to 0, one per line. Now you should then be able to generate the following output. Now if you can pause this video and try to implement it and see if you can get it before you continue forward. Okay, welcome back. I hope you did try that. Now let's see how we're going to implement it using our code block IDE editor. Okay, here we are in our code block IDE. I've copied the previous tutorial, or the very first tutorial we did in this series, that is printing integers from 0 to 14. I've copied the code, the script for that program, and that is a script that we're going to modify. We can also just write from scratch, but it will save us time if we can just modify that program. Because okay, I've now copied it here, I can run it, and then we will see the output. Now we are printing from 0 to 14, okay, and we're reaching the end of loop when the looping number is now equal to 15. That means we are exiting the loop at that point when this condition is no longer true. Now the questions at the end here, the task is we need to print integers from 15 down to 0. Okay, so what do we do then? That means the first integer we're going to print must be a 15. Compared to those one, we are printing 0 as our first number, so we now to print 15 as the first integer. So automatically the first thing we're going to do is to replace the initial condition to be 15 instead of 0. Now since j is now equal to 15, then for this condition to be true, we now need to change this sign. Instead of less than, it must be greater than. So long as j is greater or equal to which number? Equal to 0, the condition should execute. Because the first time we loop in, j is 15, so we come and check the condition here. We say okay, j is 15, so 15 is greater or equal to 0. Okay, 15 is definitely greater than 0, so the condition is true, and then we print a value of j. And we're going to loop that 14 times, okay? Now, by the time j is now 15, because now remember, if every time we do that, we have to do what? We need to decrement the value of j. That's the key element that we need to decrement, because now we're going down. We're going down, so j is 15, okay, condition true. We take 1 from j. So we remove 1 from j. That means the next time we come, j will now be equal to 14. And we check again, 14 is less than equal to 0. That is still correct. So we print again. And until we reach 0. When j is 0, then we say 0 is greater or equal to 0. That is correct. The condition is true. Then we're going to print that 0. But then remember, we are decrementing. That means we are now going below. So that's now going to be -1. Because we are taking away, but there is nothing there. So there's going to be now a -1. Now the next time we come, we see -1 is greater or equal to 0. No, -1 is definitely less than 0. So the condition will then be false. So we're going to exit the loop. So we need to catch that end of loop. But let's first run this one and see if we are indeed in the right direction in this program. Okay, here we go. So we are printing from 15, 14, 13, all the way to 0. So the program is working. So by the time we're getting 0, we're stopping. Mind you, the value of j is now equal to -1, but we are not printing -1. Why? Because -1 is not greater or equal to 0, so the condition is now false. Okay, so what the next thing that we're going to do, we need to catch the end of loop. Now we know that is a -1, that is the value that we are reaching before our condition is false. So we just need to hit the -1 here. So if j is equal to -1, we need to catch that end of loop. Now let's see. We run the program, boom, end of loop, end of for loop. So that is how you modify that program to make it do something different. It's all about for loop and if statement. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this tutorial, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to CMTEQ channel. I thank you. Cheers.